Hi there, YouTube. Today's Kingdom Melody reveals the Jehovah's Witness definition of success and outlines a plan for how to get there. That sounds great, right? Well, that's what they want you to think. However, you will see that the definition given for success in this song is, how do I say this politely? Wrong. I mean, just wrong. I mean, it's okay if your greatest goal in life is to be a mindless robot, but not if you want to provide food, clothing, and shelter for yourself or your family. Anyway, this was song number 40 in 1984, where it made its debut, and song number 115 in 2009. The song does not appear in the 2017 songbook, probably because it's a crappy song, even by Jehovah's Witness standards. And that's pretty bad. Once again, you can see the influence of late 60s, early 70s musical theater. It's called Making Our Way Successful. Now, the song underwent a major overhaul in 2009 in which they added a chorus and pretty much changed the words. It didn't help.
God Jehovah to Joshua, from my law do not stray. Read each day in an undertone, then take care to obey. Let it guide you in all you do, from your mouth that depart. Then successful will be your way, as the truth guides your heart. Then successful will be your way, as the truth guides your heart.
I think we're making a lot of questionable assumptions here. First of all, who is this Joshua guy, and why does he have to read aloud to himself? Is he an idiot? I would think also that unquestioning slavish obedience to whoever would be an undesirable character trait, as is the need to refer all of one's daily decisions to a single book, which usually isn't even relevant. I mean, this is like reading Pete the Cat to help you make decisions on your love life. I don't get it. And let's not even get into the idea of talking about the law literally all the time. You know, I bet this guy had no friends at all. If he actually followed this advice, he was probably insufferable. Now, in 2009, they overhauled the first verse, and it went a little something like this. We delight in Jehovah's word, may we read it each day, sound each thought in an undertone, meditate and obey. May it guide every step we take, every thought we express. And then they added a chorus instead of the last couple lines of the verse, which is really weird, but it's the same last couple of lines. We delight in Jehovah's word, may we read it each day. Well, at least we're talking about someone we know now, I think. But I do object to the idea that Jehovah's word, as presented by the Watchtower Society, is in any way delightful. I mean, the artwork isn't bad in a drug-induced train wreck sort of way, but the words themselves are boring, repetitive, contradictory, often wrong, and sometimes certifiably insane. Now, let's talk about sounding each thought in an undertone. I mean, wow, this is sad. Think about it. They have to sound out each word because they can't read. And note that meditating here does not include any sort of critical analysis because that's not actually allowed. So they have to read something they clearly don't understand very well over and over and over again and then obey whatever it says. Guys, that is stupid and dangerous. Now, next line is, may it guide every step we take. So we're using our apostrophes again, unnecessarily. Every thought we express. Let's take this to a scenario that you might have every day. What did you have for lunch? Well, what do the publications say? What would everybody think if you went to this restaurant or that restaurant? You should probably eat at home. Bologna sandwiches again, unless you go to the grocery store. Oh, but you're letting your mind dwell on food, and gluttony is a sin. How can you put Jehovah first in this decision? So you finally get to the grocery store after a panic attack and a tearful call with an elder. And in the checkout line, the cashier makes small talk. And so you have to think, okay, so how can I drag Jehovah into this interaction? So you start witnessing and annoy the cashier and infuriate everyone in line behind you until finally your blood sugar drops from not eating and you pass out and end up in an ambulance. But how can you put Jehovah first in this situation? Here we're going to talk about the 2009 chorus real quick. Read and meditate, then obey. This Jehovah will bless. This Jehovah, as opposed to other Jehovahs, will bless something. I don't know. This is not a complete sentence. Or else the grammar is so jacked up as to be completely indecipherable. This is not a recipe for success on any level, y'all. I mean, you don't get anywhere in life by doing the same thing over and over and over, obsessing about it, abdicating all personal responsibility for your life and your decision making. In fact, it's a commonly known recipe for insanity. That is, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
When the kings ruled in Israel and obeyed God's command, every king for himself must write God's law in his own hand.
Wow, it was not great to be king in Israel. They had to copy the entire Bible by hand. I mean, even if they're just talking about the first 5 books, that's still completely nuts. I mean, that's what scribes were for, guys. They didn't even have ballpoint pens or mechanical pencils back then. God. So in 2009, this was changed to, when the kings ruled in Israel, they received this command, which makes a little bit more sense than the original, but it's still ludicrous.
And must read in it all his days, that he humble might be. Then Jehovah would bless his realm, lengthen days he would see. Then Jehovah would bless his realm, lengthen days he would see.
So let me get this straight. Not only does the poor bastard have to copy down the entire Bible by hand, he also has to read it over and over for the rest of his life? And this is supposed to keep him humble? I mean, I think this might actually backfire. First of all, who's ruling the country while he's copying down lines by rote like some kind of kindergartner and then sounding the phonics out to himself repeatedly? Why would any reasonable deity want him to do this? And why on earth would the guy want to live a lengthened life if it's just one monotonous rereading after another? I wouldn't. I'd be like, time to jump off a tower or something. End it. So in 2009, these lines became, he must read in it all his days, that he may not transgress. Oh, good grief. Well, this law must not make a lot of sense if he has to read it over and over for decades just to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes or accidentally piss God off or something.
In the Bible we find the way God would have us to live. Since we cannot direct our step, help to us he must give.
Okay, I'm going to put aside my revulsion at this grammatical atrocity for a moment to say that this thing about not being able to direct our step, it comes from the Bible. Jeremiah, in fact. Apparently, see, we humans are too stupid to even watch where we're going. We require constant celestial micromanagement. Now, you would think that an almighty creator would be able to do better than that, but no. Oh well. You know, I'm dying to know exactly how God would have us to live, so I mined a few gems for you so you don't have to. This is an example of the wholesomeness we find in the Bible. Isaiah 36:12. Hath he not sent me to the men that sit upon the wall, that they may eat their own dung and drink their own piss with you? Wholesome. That is wholesome stuff right there. Okay, Exodus 23:19. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. What? I mean, who even thought this up? Why did someone think that this needed to be recorded for posterity? Genesis 19:31-32. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man on earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve offspring from our father. What the No. Mark 12:19. Master, Moses wrote unto us, if a man's brother die, and leaves his wife behind him, and leaves no children, that his brother should take his wife, and raise up seed unto his brother. Can I get a hell no? You know, I thought Christians were supposed to be all about family values. What the hell is this? Seems like maybe not. This is the wholesome stuff. This is how God would have us to live, according to this song, because we're too stupid to direct our steps.
If we're feeding on his own thoughts, we'll come to know his way. When our thinking is trained by God, his commands will fulfill. When our thinking is trained by God, his commands will fulfill.
You know, judging from the scriptures that we've just shared, I'm really not sure I'm all that into fulfilling his commands, thanks. They just don't sound like great ideas to me. And feeding on his own thoughts is really kind of troubling, aside from being kind of creepy and gross in a zombie sort of way. I mean, first of all, they're not thoughts, okay? They're words written down on a page, and nobody anywhere can prove that they actually came from God or that God exists at all, much less that he has a will for us one way or the other. But if the Bible is the ultimate guidebook to life, and it has all this crap in it about how rape and slavery and incest are okay, I think I'll pass on having my thinking trained. Thank you just the same. Now, here is the 2009 version. As we feed on God's word each day, hope and comfort we find. What? Where? I have yet to find the hope and comfort unless you are a reasonably prosperous male. Anyway, calm descends on our troubled hearts. Faith in him is refined. No, I'm sorry. None of this makes me feel calm. And actually, my heart was not particularly troubled until I started looking up scriptures. When we truly embrace his word, we mature and progress. Okay, stop right there. There are many words to describe all this crap, but mature is not one of them. I think progress is an interesting choice of words here, though, because progressing implies a goal. And what are we progressing toward? Well, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, particularly a newer one or a male, you're always trying to reach the next level. It's kind of like playing Mario, but less fun. What is missing from this song about how to attain success? Well, I'll tell you. Any indication whatsoever of actual success on any level, unless your goal is to become a Jehovah bot, providing free marketing to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, which is actually their goal here. So, here are a few keys to actual success in life that they've conveniently left out. Number 1, get your education. Guys, learn to think for yourself, particularly if you're young and still living at home. Critical thinking is one of the most important skills you will ever learn. Learn logic. Otherwise, you're vulnerable to every cult, every con artist, every snake oil salesman out there, and there are hordes of them. Number 2, another most important skill to learn is how to learn, right? Find out how to find out. Look things up, figure things out, find information, and teach yourself how to do things without depending on a parent, an organization, or someone else to tell you what to do. Number 3, show up, follow through. Make sure that you always show up for things. Be on time, be prepared with your shirt buttoned and your face washed. Well, 75%, in my opinion, of getting the job and getting the job done is actually just showing up. Just show up. You need to get through school? Keep showing up. Do the work. Need to get a job? Keep applying, keep interviewing, keep showing up. It might take a little time, but trust me, it will happen. It happened for me, and it can happen for you too. Number 4, whatever you do a good job. Do the best job you can. Don't half-ass anything unless there's no other choice. If you can master these 4 things, you're pretty much going to be successful whatever you end up doing. I do not recommend reading in an undertone, however, or following the Bible literally, like at all, or being blindly obedient to anyone, ever.